Hey YouTube, it's Brandon Mattingly. This is my December 7th, 2014 video. I wanted to answer some of the questions that came up from my December 6th video. I posted on there that I wanted some questions, and I already got a couple questions. That's awesome. Um, you guys can see my dog box. We got a chocolate lab. Some of you guys know it. I have PTSD from Iraq and Afghanistan and everything. But anyway, we got a chocolate lab. When we got her, she was the little bitty box size, and now she's up to the big box size. So looks like I'm running a doggy daycare here. So anyway, I wanted to answer some questions. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Mike Kane, in a question form, he wrote, "Bones go away and can't get implants without a bone graft." And then you also asked about problems with eating. So I want to address those. And then Susie, she wrote that she has an implant and she wanted to know if we had considered mini implants as an option. So I'm going to go ahead and address these. Mike, the easiest way for me to describe it, and this is obvious, I mean, I own a roofing company. I don't know, I don't really speak the medical terminology, but from what I understand, when you have your natural teeth in your mouth, those roots embed into the bone. Every time you chew and you bite into something, there's microscopic movements of the teeth that occur. That microscopic movement of your teeth causes your bone to in turn strengthen, because obviously it has to strengthen in order to accommodate the natural action that your teeth are used for, if that makes sense. When you take the teeth out of the equation, so when you have your teeth extracted, you no longer have that natural microscopic movement. Therefore, the bone never has a reason to strengthen, and over a period of time, that bone will eventually, it just kind of disappears. I guess the body absorbs that bone tissue. Now, bone grafting, which I'm not overly knowledgeable about it, if I'm not mistaken, essentially what they do is they will numb you, open up the gum line, and then there is a synthetic material that they pack into that area, and it's bonded to the bone. It becomes a synthetic type of bone, and then they close the gum back up. You wait a certain amount of time. That synthetic material will kind of integrate with your natural bone, thus creating more bone structure, and it makes an implant possible. Again, guys, do your research. That is my interpretation of it. I could be totally off base, but that is my interpretation of it. Um, and let's go ahead, before I get into problems with eating, let me go ahead and address with Susie. Susie, I have very, very limited experience with implants. I live in small town America. I am in Owensboro, Kentucky. Population like 65,000, I think is about where we're at on here. There are larger cities around. However, I don't know if I've just kind of given up hope, or if I've just gotten really comfortable, or what, but I have not. We tried to do implants. This camera's backwards. What I'm looking at, and whenever I try to touch my face, it's backwards from what you're looking at. So we tried to implant 2 standard implants into my lower left jaw. We did that whenever we did the extraction and the bridge work of my front teeth, but we tried to go ahead and do implants into this bottom jaw. Those of you that don't know what implants are, I'll give you a very, very quick summary. Essentially, they'll numb you up, cut the gum line back. There is a surgical drill bit. They actually go in and drill into the bone. From there, they'll take a surgical steel stud. They will thread that into the bone. It goes through a healing process. Once the healing process occurs and the bone and the surgical steel integrates, then now you have essentially a synthetic root for a tooth. And then the dentist will go back over it and they will crown it with an actual white enamel looking tooth. So Susie, the difference between the mini implant as opposed to the standard implant, I can only assume that it would be maybe a difference in how deep into the bone that it needs to go, or possibly the diameter of the shank of the bolt that actually goes into the bone. I'm not for certain. What I do know is that on my upper jaw, after x-rays, I think one side or the other, I've got just paper thin amount of bone, and then immediately right into the sinus cavity. And then on the other side, like there was nothing. Like it was little to nothing. So I don't know that that would be an option for me. I would love, love, love. Maybe one of these days I won the lottery, or I don't know. You know, maybe someday I can see about doing that. I would love for it to be a possibility, but as of right now, not so much. Mini implants versus standard implants. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong on this, please correct me. I think mini implants are more applicable to like cosmetic dentistry. Like for example, if I had a front tooth, front tooth. Let's go behind the canine tooth right there. The incisor. I don't remember the name of the tooth. I would think that a mini implant would be for less pressure. You know, less functional teeth, more cosmetic. I'm not for certain on that. Please correct me if I'm not right. Mike, getting to your question with problems with eating. It is not like this for everybody. Some people could eat a caramel apple with their dentures. I am not so lucky. A big reason that I'm not all that lucky with it is that, yeah, okay, right side. So from right here, let me get right. From right here back, I have no lower teeth. So essentially what happens there is I try to bite down, and because there's no lower teeth here, there's not even pressure going to the top, and it kicks my teeth out. So this is kind of a weird example. Imagine though if I were trying to chew a piece of steak. I have to do it on this side. Imagine if I were trying to chew into a piece of steak. Watch for these slight difference here, what happens with my teeth. Ready? Now, that's a pretty dramatic example. That's because I did not just put denture adhesive on, but that is still very much a realization of having dentures, is that not all of us are so lucky to get a great lock in on the denture. Another problem, I mean, you know, I just demonstrated chewing, and since I don't have any teeth on this side, I really had no choice but to chew on this side. So now I'm going to show you what happens whenever I try to bite into something. So imagine if this were a thick hamburger with, you know, pickles and lettuce and whatnot. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's more of a crisp bite into whenever you do it. So watch what happens with the teeth if I were to try to bite into it. Do you see there how it becomes such a problem? Because now not only do I have a mouthful of food that I'm trying to chew, but my stinking dentures are in the way and they're flopping around. It's like trying to chew, but you've got a variable of something else in there. Sadly, and I would never demonstrate it for you guys on here, if I take my teeth out, my gums are rock solid. Like I could eat anything you put in front of me with just my gums. That's horrible, but it's the truth. Your gums over time, they become bulletproof, I guess. I don't know, but that's something that I cope with. A lot of people don't have problems. I do. So anyway, that was Mike Kane and Susie. Susie, you had a last name. I should have wrote it down. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys I do take this serious. I wanted to answer your questions. I wanted to be as forthcoming as I possibly can. Thank you so much for asking the questions. I look forward to reading so many more, and I will answer them just as absolute quick as I can. Today is December the 7th, 2014, Sunday. Went to church today. I hope you all went to church. If you didn't, that's on you. I'm not trying to push my beliefs on you. But that's it. My name is Brandon Mattingly. I wish you all nothing but the very best. Godspeed and peace be with you all.